Have you ever met someone whose very existence seems to defy everything you know? In the bustling, vibrant city of Mumbai, amidst its chaotic charm and kaleidoscope of cultures, there lives a girl who leaves everyone she meets in a state of bewilderment. At first glance, this red-haired, fair-skinned girl in a traditional Indian dress looks like an ordinary tourist. Her bright red locks cascade down her back, contrasting sharply with the rich, colorful fabrics of her sari, and her green eyes sparkle with a curious intensity. But there is something about her that makes everyone stop and stare. Who is this girl, and why does she seem so out of place? Before we begin, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. Most residents of Mumbai, seeing her, think they are looking at an English woman. The bustling streets come to a brief standstill as passers-by double-take, their expressions a mix of curiosity and confusion. But the truth is far more surprising. Our story's heroine, Pooja Ganatra, was born to an ordinary Indian couple in Mumbai. From the moment she was born, she was different. Her parents were in shock when they first saw her bright red hair and pale skin. They feared something was terribly wrong. As Pooja grew up, her unique appearance drew more and more attention, often unwanted. Strangers would approach her, asking if she was lost or needed help, mistaking her for a foreign tourist. Pooja Ganatra's unique appearance has always set her apart from her peers. Despite being 100% Indian, her red hair, pale skin, and green eyes have often led to her being mistaken for a foreigner. This peculiarity stems from a rare genetic combination that scientists believe harks back to colonial times, when genetic mingling was more common. Scientists claim that in Pooja's case, there is nothing strange, though it can't be called usual either. According to them, the explanation for the anomaly lies in genetics. The pale, red-haired, green-eyed baby was a real shock to her parents. After her birth, her father and mother decided not to have more children, believing that the fair-skinned girl was definitely sick and that her treatment would cost a lot of money. Fortunately, appearance was Pooja's only peculiarity. In all other respects, she was an ordinary baby. Raising such a child became a serious challenge for the Indian family. For example, when the face of the 3-year-old girl was covered with freckles, her parents panicked and consulted a doctor. Her father, mother, and other relatives sincerely believed these spots were a sign of a congenital defect or some skin disease. As Pooja grew up, she became more aware of her unique looks and the reactions they provoked. People often approached her, asking if she was lost or needed help, assuming she was a foreign tourist. This constant attention made her feel different and sometimes isolated, despite her parents' best efforts to reassure her. Pooja herself believes she takes after her mother, whose skin was quite fair by Indian standards. However, her maternal grandmother had long passed away, so they couldn't find out more. Family friends think that somewhere in the Ganatra family tree, there was an Englishman, as Britain ruled Indian lands for almost a century in the past. During her school years, Pooja faced numerous challenges. The hardest time for the poor girl was during her school years. Fortunately, it didn't come to outright bullying, but the more spiteful kids caused her plenty of trouble. She often found herself the subject of whispers and pointed fingers, feeling the sting of exclusion and the pressure to conform. Thus, until she entered university, Pooja preferred to keep to herself and had few friends. Her parents tried in every way to show their daughter that her appearance was not a deviation, but only after a trip organized by her father and mother to America and Europe did Ganatra stop feeling like an outcast. This trip was a turning point for Pooja. Seeing people who looked different from her, yet were comfortable in their own skin, inspired her to embrace her uniqueness. Walking through the streets of London and New York, she saw a tapestry of faces, each unique and beautiful in its own way. She realized that the world was a diverse place, and her appearance was just one of many beautiful variations of humanity. Now, she is not as hurt by the sideways glances of strangers and their reproaches. Pooja recalls that in her first year, the university administration asked her personally not to wear sleeveless shirts, while all the other female students freely wore clothes with bare arms. The rector justified this by saying that such clothing made her stand out too much and attract unnecessary attention. Even in her native Mumbai, residents usually take Pooja for a tourist. Taxi drivers are still very surprised when, after speaking to her in English, they hear an excellent response in Hindi. And with street vendors, the girl often has to argue fiercely as they constantly try to sell her goods at highly inflated prices meant for foreigners. Despite these challenges, Pooja has developed a thick skin and a sense of humor about her situation. She often jokes about how she gets better service because people think she is a foreigner. This positive attitude has helped her navigate the complexities of her unique life. One might think that Pooja's unusual appearance, red hair and green eyes, would attract many admirers. However, people more often advise her to use more powder or even resort to plastic surgery. Her face is literally covered in freckles, which remain bright year-round in the local climate. Any marks or spots on the skin are viewed very negatively here. Now, Pooja embraces her uniqueness with confidence. She even jokes about how her appearance often gets her better service. But there's one thing she's yet to discover: the full story of her genetic heritage. A recent DNA test revealed a fascinating mix of South Asian and European ancestry, but Pooja still wonders, who were her distant ancestors? The answer to this question remains a mystery, one that Pooja is determined to uncover. Fortunately, today Pooja has stopped reacting painfully to people's remarks. Having seen the world outside her hometown, she realized that her appearance is not an ugly exception to the rule. Now she just wants to be herself. But over time, Ganatra still wants to take a DNA test to find out where her distant ancestors came from. What do you think about this? Do you have freckles? If so, have they caused you any inconvenience? Be sure to share your opinion in the comments under this video. Friends, support the channel with a like and a subscription. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.